Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. We're taking a quick look here again at Solana, seeing what's going on in the charts here. It's working itself within previous support, previous resistance level. We're going to talk a little about what the price action is doing here. I think it's important we look at the weekly high, low, open, close, and kind of consider what might happen next for a rejection point, because we are in our ABC pattern here for our Elliott Wave here. So we'll talk about that and much more. So if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, love teaching people to trade, hope you can learn something today. Let's jump into the back end data here first and kind of just see what's going on with the liquidation. Liquidation is pretty straightforward in this case here. We got kind of a large range above and below the price action. So nothing super crazy, but we are generally closer to a larger concentration of liquidation, down at about $66. But at this point, we've bounced off that 68 level, fairly nice, after waking down just a little bit low to sweep that lower liquidity there. As we can kind of see, this lower liquidity level got hit pretty hard at 68, or just sub 68. Again, you see a support level at 68, people put their stop loss just below that. That's what happened. They liquidated it. Okay, pretty standard stuff. Just kind of that normal rinse and repeat. Anyways, we're back up to 71. Let's talk about what's going to happen next. Quick congrats to our community members over the weekend. Had a phenomenal trade weekend. Again, ICP 96% day and a half. Avalanche, we got 53% in a day and a half, almost 2 days. SHIB 46%, no, sorry, 62% for that trade in 8 days, and of course 121% from a previous swing trade as well. So very cool stuff there. Let's take a look here at Solana and kind of just recognize a few things here. So start with the daily first, because we did technically get the weekly close. In fact, we can kind of start with the weekly and just double check a few things. We still have yet to break through this $80 range, of course, we know that. But looking at the weekly here and looking at our moving averages, we can see we're still above all three, standard stuff. Stochastic RSI, money flow index, all this stuff is looking very bullish. Okay, so really nothing is changing there. You can understand too, though, that we are overextended. We're looking at about a 4 or 5 weeks of overextension, but there was a lot of consolidation in this couple of weeks here. So honestly, I don't think we're all that bad off here. The monthly, or correction, the weekly looks phenomenal. Taking a look at the daily here. Let's take a look here, of course, understand we're still above the 20-day SMA. Price wick down to that level roughly and bounce back. Okay, so we're looking pretty strong there in that sense as far as recovery is concerned. Doesn't mean the price can't continue lower, but it was nice to see that support level hold so far. We can take a look at the MACD, still diverging. Not a great sign there, of course, but it's not. It's kind of standard for the price action, pulling back for about 4 days in a row. We can also see the stochastic RSI swinging down for the second time. That's, again, the more impactful indicator. Okay, always look for that second swing, either to the upside or the downside. We can see here with traditional RSI and money flow index all averaging right about 60, so still bullish in the overall sense here. So we haven't lost any trend lines. We haven't lost specific key level supports, in my opinion, on the RSI. Yes, the MACD is diverging and stochastic is as well, but it's not that bad. Okay, and I like to say that just because the overall sense here is still pretty solid. We got a decent amount of volume support here at the current price point. If we zoom in and kind of look at the amount here, we can kind of see that there's a lot of support right there at about $73. And in this case, with the price being below that level, we can kind of presume that might be a resistance. So all the more reason to be kind of on your toes and to expect the price to pull back further before it comes back up again. Again, you got to recognize that the way that Solana is behaving right now, very, very similar to Bitcoin. Take a look at that here. Nice little down and up pattern there. Same thing here with Solana, down and up. Okay, just a little more exaggerated too. So again, you got to recognize when Solana's at this point retesting its highs, it's extremely common for coins in this situation to follow Bitcoin in a lot of ways, but to also be exaggerated from them. In other words, it's pulling back more aggressively and increasing more aggressively than Bitcoin, but it's somewhat following suit within its own range. Okay, so again, if Bitcoin does retest that low 40,000 range, which I'm kind of expecting, then we very well could see Solana pull back again. And this is another thing we want to recognize too, based on Elliott Wave on the 4-hour time frame. We can see that we have finished our 5th and final wave, basically implying we're going for an ABC pattern. So if this is the lowest point, we could see a lower high and then a lower low after. Okay, just keep that in mind. That could be a possibility. All right, very, very last thing we want to look at here would be the hourly. Ichimoku cloud, we're below the cloud. Nothing to really see here. Still bearish in my personal opinion. Okay, so all weekend we've kind of seen this. On Saturday we broke below. We've been maintaining below this whole time, and really just implies that the price action is more likely to go down than up. But again, it would make sense for the price to come up, reject off of this level here, or even weekly open or close. A lot of times these are areas that the price will reject out. Okay, so it could even be somewhere as high as about $75. But again, I'm leaning more towards the price pulling back just based on some of the overall sense of what we're seeing here. But it may not be as aggressive as we're thinking, right? So again, I just like to kind of say these things and prepare you, not to get you in this position to be like, take a short position. I think that the sky is falling. No, more so just, wait for a good long if that is the case. Consider dollar cost averaging at this current price point if you feel that's a good value for you. And of course, be mindful that the price action is slightly more likely to pull back than it is to increase, okay? A lot of little things to consider, I get it, but that's kind of how it goes with trading sometimes. You don't always get a clear line in the sand, right? So again, just some things to think about. Also, too, thanks again to the community members for giving some positive feedback there. I'm super happy to understand that this exchange is working well for you. No KYC, no VPN. Be sure to use the link down below to benefit from these exclusive offers here. Should be available for the remainder of the year. And just know they have trailing stop losses, a phenomenal exchange, my favorite by far. So be sure to use Bitunix and let me know your thoughts as well. But either way, comment below if you're in a Solana long, Solana short. What are your thoughts here? We'll go ahead and see you in the next video. I'll go ahead and review this again later today. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you again soon. Take care.